Wait. Okay, is this when they like when they like teach through a textbook just so you can like get to a standardized test, like they don't teach you anything extra?
I don't know what teaching to the test is.
I think teaching to the test is when a teacher doesn't teach you like the why and maybe the how behind something and just teaches you specifically like things that will get you points on tests instead of teaching you something that would actually help you in the real world.
Teaching to the test is making sure that students pass but don't necessarily learn the information.
Teaching to the test is when teachers just teach students information that's going to be on the test and they don't like go into how it like relates to the real world or like the significance of any of it. They just basically tell them how to get the right answer.
Teaching to the test is teaching to make sure that your kids pass the test, not really caring if they learn or not, just making sure they get an A on the test.
Yes, I have.
Yes, in high school I had a teacher who taught us literally everything we needed to know for the EOC and nothing else.
Yes, throughout my entire high school career, I only met teachers who taught so you could do well in AP exams and things.
Yeah.
Expand. Why?
Like in AP classes, teachers taught to the AP test.
Yes, I have like multiple times. Do we elaborate?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, well, this teacher doesn't generally always teach it to the test, but my law teacher this semester, like we skipped a class, so she basically just told us all the answers, or all like the exact things we need to know and the answers to the test.
Yes, I would have to say most of my high school teachers taught to the test because the inter-course tests were like their bread and butter that decide if they stayed there or not and whether they got a raise or not. So they make sure kids pass the ELCT instead of actually teaching them to learn.
I don't believe standardized tests should be the focus, but like learning in general, because that's the point of going to school, is to learn, not to pass
I
tests.
think standardized tests should be the focus of a classroom because
Why?
Because not everybody tests well, like in standardized tests, so it's not like an accurate representation of how much.
I don't believe they should be the focus, but I think it's okay to use them. The problem with standardized tests is doesn't like sometimes it doesn't allow like the test takers to like think critically or just like have their own thoughts. It's more of like there's 1,000 people in the school and you need to get like rank them like easily, so it's just like an easy way to make sure they're retaining the information you get.
Absolutely not. I think that should be part of it, but not all of it. And I feel like teachers should want to teach students things that aren't going to be on standardized tests.
No, I believe it should be none of the focus in classroom curriculums. I think every teacher should teach for the kids can learn and not for they can pass the test. Learning is more important than grades.
I think it's beneficial in the aspect that teachers and schools look at it, but not in the real world.
Teaching to the test is useless. I mean, it teaches you how to take tests, but not how to work in the real world.
No, I don't think so. I mean, to an extent, yes, because standardized tests like allow for like a certain uniformity in education like all over the country, but I don't think that it's beneficial to their education.
It's partially beneficial because they're learning textbook information, things they'll know for like fun facts or things of that sort, but you don't know if the kid is actually learning. You're just making sure they know how to pass the test.
I think teaching to the test could be beneficial to students.
I don't think it is because it doesn't allow them to like be creative and think critically, and it doesn't really give them any like knowledge or skills to apply to the real world or like where they would actually use it. It just like basically gets them a good grade.
Yes, because it's only allowing them to show you what they've been taught for the test. It doesn't allow them to show you what else they have learned throughout the year.
Yes, because students, for one, cheat, which doesn't mean you're retaining anything. And also, like, they study the night of the night before the test, so they get all the information then, and then I forget it, or they forget it within the next week or so.
just what's on a standardized test, I don't think a standardized test is very effective.
To an extent, yes, because one, you can have bad test takers who could know a lot of the information. It's just that they may choke under pressure, or you can have someone who knows none of the content but knows how to cheat very well, or just takes tests very well. So it's like a miscrewed system, and it's not a way to fix it. It's just how it is.
Learned.
I think in a lot of cases it does, because not everyone is like good at taking standardized tests. So like you could have learned like a ton of information, but just like not done well on the test, and so it doesn't like accurately represent how much people have learned.